The B2S podcast is brought to you by Motivated Apparel. Motivated Apparel, the premier gear for motivation. A brand that motivates, inspires, and empowers you to stay motivated while chasing your dreams. Head on over to www.shiftmotivations.com/shop Motivated Apparel and grab yourself some Motivated Apparel today. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Blueprint to Success podcast. This is your host, Mike Marin, a.k.a. the Shift Motivator.
Shippy.
Yes, sir. And I'm joined today with my co-host, my brother from another mother, Mr. Alxndr Hall. What up, bro?
What's going on? How everybody doing, man? You know what? I feel good, man. I feel blessed, bro. No
yes,
cap.
Sir.
I feel refreshed. I feel good, bro. No cap.
You look refreshed. You look recap. You got the Kendrick Valley going on.
Oh, man. KB, man, we on the way, man. Best believe that, bro.
Fresh to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, too, we got our other co-host, my brother from the same mother.
What's going on, man?
That's the Boy Wonda. What's up, bro?
Bro, I can understand. You know what I'm saying? We all glowing in this piece. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, man, what up, y'all, man? Good to see y'all again. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's just, bro, it's like I'm on a high right now.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Yeah, I bet you on a high.
Right.
Don't start, bro.
Because you know me. You know it.
Don't start, bro.
We kicking off like judo. You feel me?
He can't help it. You already know.
Yeah.
I keep telling him I want to see his birth certificate. They saying he a part of the family. I ain't seen one yet.
Listen, they fed me. I stayed. Who gonna pass out some free meals? Not time.
You stupid.
Oh man, well we're excited to be here today, man. A little extra excitement today. We got some things that done happened since the last episode, so we're gonna kind of talk about some stuff, get into some things, man. But B-Dub, man, we've been talking about the dropping of the album, man. It's out now, man. How does it feel? Slight promo.
The work that he has started, he has completed.
Life after death.
Bro, like this, I can't stop looking at it, man. It's just really a dream come true. Just the longevity in the game, and just this is my first official LP.
Yeah.
You know, I put out 2 EPs and in between singles, but like far as a full length of body of work, like this right here is.
This your first album?
Yeah.
Nah.
First album, man.
That's
16 years, bro.
16 years.
First album.
That's crazy.
16 years.
Look, it's a grind, man. It's a grind. People, the work that goes behind the scenes, the wins, the losses, the ups, the downs, the hardships.
Yeah.
Bro, like all of this is embedded. Life after death.
Yeah.
It's really embedded. So,
like, dude, this is like. When the physical copy, man, I just wanted to, to support you, my brother, man, regardless. But when I actually opened the inserts, and I was like, dang, this is like dope. Like the artwork is mad crazy.
Yeah.
The inserts is mad crazy. Almost shed the tears reading the inserts that you put on the inside.
yeah,
so,
man, it's.
Yeah, the dedications and from the family members that we lost this past year. We lost four family members, including our mom, last year. So it was a rough year for us. And so you have some dope stuff to say, man. Dedications to them, and then just anybody that supported and had impact in their life. It was very well put together, man. Like it's just like one of the dopest art covers I've ever experienced. We grew up in music.
Exactly,
so.
bro. And that it has to be appealing, eye-catching.
Yeah.
So, bro, kind of like explain, bro, the art. Like explain, like the guy like explain that for us real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a guy, his fleshly body. Then the next one is his skeleton. The next one is like it. So explain that
Like
for us real quick. Yeah.
so you got spirit, soul, and body, right? And so the whole process, and the crazy thing is, like, I had one of my longtime friends hit me up. Like, I didn't know he did artwork, and so he hit me in the inbox. He's like, "Bro, I do artwork." It's like we did shows. He's from Michigan, so we did shows, you know, throughout the years, but never knew he did artwork. So he's like, "Bro, I do artwork. Check out my work." So he sent me his website link. He's like, "Yep, you're it." But even with saying he's it, God already confirmed inside of me. Just like, yeah, you need to, because he's quick, he's efficient, he's gonna give you what you need.
Yeah.
Because I've been praying like, God, okay, how is this gonna be packaged? How does this look?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I had an idea, but I still didn't have a clue.
Right.
So he sent me some templates. I was like, that's it. So he was like, so when I look at life after death, you know, in the word it says you got to die to your flesh daily. You got to die to yourself. So die to the things of this world, because if not, it'll consume you. It'll take over and you'll lose yourself easily. And so I was just like, wow. So dying to yourself daily is a daily thing. Like you got to do it day to day to day. Like how it says the renewing of your mind. You got to renew your mind. It's not just a one-time thing. It's a lifetime thing. It's a journey. So when he sent me that, I was like, that's it. So he's like, bro, I want you to go get a green screen. I want you to be like on either like a bar stool or whatever and just lay out like this, just freelance. I was like, okay. So I sent him the pictures and what he wanted to use, and this is what he came up with. He's like, this is what I imagined, this is what I envisioned. I was like, bro.
Dang.
Bro, I was flabbergasted, bro. Like, and so when he did that, and then when he showed everything else as far as with the sky, I was just like, man, this is, when he heard the title, he was just like, because, you know, I have people like, hey, you know, this Biggie album, you know, how you going to compete with that? I was like, bro, that's not what I'm on.
Yeah, it's
I say,
things,
I'm in my own lane. I'm doing my own thing.
Right.
Like, this has nothing to do with Biggie. This is my life. This is my story. So I'm not intimidated by that.
Right.
That's not my mindset. And just like, oh, okay, all right, cool. They ain't know what to say after that. Like, and that comes with confidence in me and embracing myself, bro. Like, God gave me a gift that I'm emulating.
Right.
So I'm expressing it to the world and everybody around me who I come in contact with. So, like, we was talking behind the scenes about longevity and how you really have to take each moment. And when you said, when Diamond was talking about me, like, bro, why he hasn't gotten bigger than what he is?
Yeah,
like,
he wasn't talking no disrespect. He was
no. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And it's because, like, it's just we have to go the long route. You know what I'm saying? And I'm okay with that.
Right.
Because I'm building a rapport with people. Like, they get to see me. I'm very tangible. So, like, I had an Uber ride last night, and it was like, you do music? Like, what do you do? Because I have my bio in my Uber profile, so they know I do impersonations. They know I do music, so they'll look up, and it sparks a conversation.
Right.
And so that's how this even came about. It's like, oh my God, you're an artist? You just dropped this? Like, I'm a Christian hip hop artist as well. There's like a Christian hip hop artist. Play some of your stuff.
Right.
So there's like, oh, I see stars on okay, LAD, this, that, and the third. Okay, play your favorite. Oh, no. Play the favorite of stuff. Okay, no, play your favorite. So I put on okay. And then the moment it hit, like, you know, it only take 3 seconds.
Yeah, it dropped, yeah.
And there was like, this is Christian hip hop?
Yeah,
Yo, this made me want to listen to Christian hip hop. And that's what I'm looking for.
Staying in your lane.
Exactly. In my lane, in my vein. And that blessed me so much, bro. And immediately God revealed to me, like, bless them with those CDs.
Yeah.
Bless them. And because it's a moment that forever changed their lives. Just like when you got concerts, I say, everything on this QR code is hit it. You'll get everything you need, all the information, social media, everything. And I told them the dates, Orlando on the 11th and the 19th. And so man, this project has opened up so many doors, bro. It's crazy.
I already knew it was coming.
It's like being placed on 41 Spotify playlists, and it's like almost 1,000 streams right now on the OKOK, and almost about 1,500 just on the album itself. So it's just gradually climbing, and I love that because I get to see the process of it. I get to enjoy the process. Like I don't want everything to be so fast paced. Like I have to have it just like that, a drop of a dime. No, I'm gonna enjoy this moment. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna present a product that people can respect and they can be encouraged by. And be like, man, if I want to do that, I want to be where you at. Where you gotta work. You can't be intimidated. You gotta be comfortable in your own skin. You gotta grind it out, and that's just what this is, man. Just years of grinding out and finally getting to this point. So.
Yeah, so that's 16 years for you, and so Alexndr, how long it's been for you, bro?
Like I've been, so I'm gonna say it this way, like I remember me writing my first, I called it an album. I don't know how many songs it was, but it was like, I think it was like 6 songs from transitioning from the 7th to 8th grade, right? So I started actually rhyming when I was like 5 or 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? That's when I started rhyming. 5 or 6 years old, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
My daddy used to have on, I don't know why he had this on, but you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't with my mom, he was with my stepmom. Stepmom didn't know at the time, but Yo MTV Raps, Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. When that came on, I was in front of the TV. So I started rhyming around 5th grade. I'm 5 years old. I wrote my first album I called it album from the 7th. That summer is when I wrote those 5 songs, going to the 7th to the 8th grade. Of course, I was writing in between the 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? Then I started. But the thing is, I couldn't freestyle, so I had to study. I was studying MCs, how to freestyle. Big L, he was one of the main ones who I saw freestyle a lot. Murder Mook. Then I got into different writing styles. Jadakiss, the whole locks. I was on Chic Luch. I was on all of them. And I didn't know anything about Southern artists until 9th grade year. I was extra late. My Omari, my sister's husband, he put me on. He pulled up to the crib. I would never forget this. Never. My man's had this Camaro. It was blue. And he pulled up into the yard. My first time, he did 2 things for me. Shouts out to Omari, shouts out to Pedals. He did 2 things for me. He introduced me into Southern MCs, Southern rap. And he also introduced me into a specific area. Like it was slowed down. I never heard. I was like, why did I was like, why I sound like that?
That slowed down music down here, man.
Bro, he put up in the yard. All you heard was 400 degrees. I was like, what is that? So he's like, you know about this Cash Money? I was like, oh snap. So ever since then, I went to researching Lil Wayne, Young Turk, BG, Hot Boys. Get out how you live. My mom's spot. I don't know why she did this. My mom. I don't know why she did. She didn't know, but she knew that I liked to rap. So, but she didn't know what they were saying. But she bought me the CD. Get it how you live. But she bought me that CD. It was over on Tuesday and Thursday. You know what I'm saying?
You know where to find me.
Yeah. So that's when I got into them. I started researching J Prince, Ghetto Boys,
Scarface.
Scarface. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro. So, so since I want to say since the 5th grade, been rhyming, been actually like putting songs together since like I call them. I had a piece of paper. It was one piece of paper. I would write from the top line to the bottom, and I called that a verse. I didn't have no structure. I had to learn that from like I learned bar structure from 50 Cent. I learned hooks from T.I. I learned to pay attention to how I was saying what I was saying from Jadakiss, and metaphors and stuff like that from Big L. Busta Rhymes with how to be charismatic in your, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So for a long time, and then I didn't get into Christian hip hop, bro. No, I'm just gonna lie to you. I didn't get into Christian hip hop until my late 20s. Rio, you know what I'm saying? My brother Nate, he do want to turn me on to it.
Yeah.
The first time I ever heard of Christian rappers was him.
Yeah.
Was Rio. I ain't know about no Lecrae, no Trip Lee, no
Thizzle,
nobody.
Jason.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Those some trendsetters, man. Those was the guys like that changed the game, man. Cause like when we was coming up, it was what was the main ones? What was the one you always talking about? That when people think about Christian hip hop from back in the day, I don't remember. Anyway, a lot of the stuff it just wasn't appealing to the ears. And so the transformation of music and the industry now has transformed so expeditiously to it's like it's not even funny anymore. So I mean it's a breath of fresh air considering what's out there in the culture now. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of spew, basically, you know, it's poison is what it is, you know. So so at the end of the day, we're talking about like longevity, man. Like myself, from a platform standpoint, professional, quote unquote standpoint, you know, it's been over 10 years for me, you know, in that arena. But we just talking about public speaking in general. With me being in ministry, it's you talking about almost 20 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Just in some way, form, or fashion, ministering or speaking on somebody's platform. You know, so and I'm reminded by what we was talking about earlier. Actually, I had looked it up because when the ideas and stuff was coming to me, man, it's like in Martin Luther King's final speech, man, he had a sentence where he said, you know, longevity has its course. You know, and you know, when you listen to that speech, man, it's like he knew something. Maybe he didn't know to the extent of what was about to happen, but because of what was going on in that day at time, he knew they was coming for his head. So maybe he was just thinking it was just a matter of time. But you know, when you listen to that speech, man, it's like he knew he was on his way out. And so, but at the end of the day, for him to quote, you know, longevity has its course. You know, it's almost like everybody wants this quick microwavable thing now. And so you said something. What was it when you were speaking earlier about the process and how I forgot what the actual word that you actually used. But what comes to my mind is kind of like the slow cooker. Like anytime anybody has some food in a crock pot, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you just put whatever ingredients you want in there. You just let it sit there. But it can sit there for hours, and it be some of the best food you ever had. But you can't sit that same product in the oven for hours because it'll burn it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you was talking about staying in your lane, that kind of can fit in that because like even though you're using the same ingredients, it's the same product, but the tool that is used to bake the product is different.
See that, man, bro.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, you put them same ingredients, that same product, whatever food it is, into a slow cooker and let it cook on a certain temperature for hours.
It won't dry out.
And it won't do that. But you do that same thing in the oven, it'll burn it.
Exactly.
Or you know, or it won't come out right. You know what I'm saying? So longevity does have its course, man. It allows you to see from a different perspective, from a long shot. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you're tangible. You know, even at the earlier stages as well as the later stages. You know, it just creates those different environments and stuff that people get to see a side of you that probably they wouldn't see had you had gotten it out of season.
Bro, it's crazy because when he said it's tangible. Then, you know, because everybody has, like, you got your hand, every finger has a job to do. But my left arm ain't got nothing to do with my right arm, but his fingers and thumbs, they had a job to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So with Doug being where he's at musically and respected in the industry, tangible, that makes him being tangible makes God tangible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, God needs something done over here. Who can do it? Dub will do it for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I need something done over here. Who gonna do it? Okay, that group will do it for me. I need something done in Daytona. Who's in Fort Myers? Okay, my people in Fort Myers can handle my Fort Myers people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
that's solid, bro.
Yeah, yeah, it is, and it can be frustrating, you know, and we get it, you know, we get it. But when you go through the full process of something, you're able to gain the full benefit of something. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you have do it, then I mean, you know, you have a chance of receiving half the benefit, you know, because what happens when you receive something before you're mature enough to handle it, and the maturity came through the process of the longevity.
Bro, as they say, you'll sabotage yourself.
Self-sabotage. Yeah.
Sabotage.
Yeah, exactly. Because just like even like from an investment standpoint, right? Like if you go in it too early, you're gonna get hit with a penalty, and then you're gonna get independent upon, you know, what age you go in with it, and then you get another additional taxation on top of that.
Bruh, you off sides.
Yeah, flag on the plate.
Flag on the plate.
So you don't reap the full benefits because that particular vehicle is set for a long-term investment. And so that's how we have to look at our destiny. It's like we can't shortcut our destiny because we want the self-gratification of what it looks like it can bring in the moment right now. You know, it was.
Bro, that's like you have to, like, we have to, for the ones who ain't got big guap, right? So two things that I realized. I realized that my relationship, I realized that my life, me waking up is an asset. Period, right?
Right.
So I appreciate that. And then I realized that under that, two things that I highly appreciate. The first one, my first biggest asset is my relationship with God. Period. That's my first biggest asset. My second one is my time.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that we have to train our minds to be, and you will know this term, what I'm finna say, you would too. Like we have to train ourselves to be a growth investor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we have to train ourselves to be a growth investor, like for, like you said, a long term.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's just like in track, right? You got different elements of track. So, but when you think of, in my mind, what coming to me right now, when I'm think of longevity, I'm like the cross country runner.
Oh, for sure.
For sure, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? They train different than the guy or the gal that's running 100 meters.
Yep, or 400 or...
You know what I'm saying?
It's different.
It's different. They got to train different. They got to breathe different. The technique is different because, you know, they're running for a long period of a time. And so they have to pace themselves.
Exactly.
And in order for them to pace themselves, they have to train themselves in a way that they pace themselves. Because what happens, like, you got to think about it, man. What happens if I'm a cross-country runner, right? But then I don't learn how to pace myself. Think about that.
You're going to fizz out
You can still train as a cross-country runner, but still the proper training for the vehicle that you're using still have to be personified.
It does.
So if I don't train myself as a cross-country runner in the format that I do, I still disrupt the process. You know, because I just, like, for example, like what if I didn't have the mindset, I say, okay, we're going to be traveling X amount of miles. Oh, man, you know, I ain't finna worry about my breathing technique. I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna strike out the first 10 yards and then boom, boom. You know, you gotta pace yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, man, I'm gonna do it this way. It's like, no, what does the process position you to do it? How do it positions you to do it,
Bro?
You know what I'm saying?
When I tell you the process of this, if I would have aborted this process, and if I would have stayed down, if I would have just been like, man, forget it. Again, even when you self-sabotage and get in the way, you make the process a lot longer than it should be.
Right.
And I had to immediately capture that and grasp that, like, okay, it happened. I got to re-record everything. I was like, Lord, just give me the strength. And I'm glad because this would not be what it is.
Right.
If I would have aborted the process.
Right.
If I wouldn't have stuck through with the process.
Right.
If I wouldn't have been okay with starting over or people not getting back to me that I wanted to be on the project, this wouldn't be what it is.
Right.
If it would have been beforehand.
Right.
Premature.
Right.
You stunt the growth. That's a growth stunner.
Yeah.
So we're growth, regulators. So we're always trying to deposit. We're always trying to grow. And this right here is just like everybody that listened to the album is like, bro, this is a grown man album.
Yeah. It is.
It
That
is.
blessed me.
It is. Like
It is.
it's
Real
not-
talk.
That
yeah.
blessed me, bro.
Real
because
talk.
it's like,
Yeah, it's grown, man. That first track, man.
you,
that first
and,
track
and it
go
features my
If
brother.
this ain't
No
Kingdom-
shameless plug.
This ain't Kingdom, it don't concern you.
Yeah, for real.
Bars.
Yeah. Yeah. If you ain't
You
trying
come
to.
off hard. That first track.
Yeah. If you ain't.
If you
tryna-
ain't kingdom minded, if you ain't trying to do it God's way, this don't concern. And what I'm realizing, bro, is like it's crazy, man. Because and no shade to nobody, man. I want y'all to understand that. But God's when I think about the true essence of who God is, that's sacred,
It is.
and we want to attach God's name to everything and anything. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like.
Tainted, in a sense.
Yeah, and it's, man, Pastor just preached a message here. Was it last Sunday? I think. He made this statement. He said, if you disrespect the vessel, you taint the oil.
Yeah, I seen that on the post.
Hold on.
Oh,
I'm trying to, cause y'all know me. I got.
rewind.
I
That
got.
just,
Bro,
He said
if you disrespect the
if
vessel,
you disrespect the vessel,
you taint
taint
the
the
oil.
oil.
drink the oil.
And that came to my mind when I made that statement, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when I said God's name is sacred, the things that I see people attach God's name to is not sacred, bro. It's not. So when you said that you felt led to give those Uber riders a copy of your CD, they experienced the side of God that they never experienced.
exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
And this will spark curiosity, and
Yeah.
they'll want to know more.
And they want to know more. Exactly.
Exactly.
And so now what happens is once again, no shade to anybody. Your walk is your walk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm not discrediting that. But what I am saying is we have to be careful. I'm not trying to get out on a tangent or go off subject, but since that just kind of fit to the discussion, that
It's a part of it.
I can go to certain people's social media pages, and I do a lot of student mentorship, right? I work with a lot of student athletes. You can go to a lot of their Twitter pages, especially on Twitter, Instagram.
Especially Instagram.
Everybody has that scripture. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me when it comes to athletics, right? But when I go to your page, it don't represent God in any kind of way. But it's like that's the first thing that I see when I'm up top. Or they say, God first, blah, 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 But if God's name is sacred, then at the end of the day, there's nothing sacred about doing things that doesn't bring reputation to what God or who God actually exemplifies to be himself. So even in the longevity of whatever your purpose is, even considering like what you had said earlier, like us three sitting at this table, all of us have went the long route.
Yeah.
And we've had many nights where we've cried on each other's shoulder and iron shopping iron, and we come, encouraging each other.
Refill.
Yeah.
I need
Right.
a second win, big
I need that pep talk, bro. What you got today, man?
What you think?
My tank empty.
Hey, Iron Shoppers on, aka getting pulled to the side and getting cussed out real quick. hey, bro, when you get cussed out with no curse words,
It just hit different, right?
it hit different. Like, did he just cuss me? Dang. Like, dang, I feel completely shocked.
My bad.
Yeah, my
Won't
bad.
happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
man.
you need that, though.
Yeah.
You need that, yeah.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, you need that because it's like even in my process in my walk, right? Like and I think all three of us are alike in so many ways where we're all personable, and I think that's what one of the things that separates our brand apart is that personal touch that people get when they encounter an experience with either one of us.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Y'all can let me know, but I don't know if that's gonna come without no longevity, man.
No.
It's not.
You're looking at it from a broad perspective. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because you had all this time to take in the bumps and the bruises, the lumps on the head, The times where you try to abort the process, and you be like, nope, that ain't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The B2S podcast is brought to you by No Grind, No Glory Apparel, R8 28 edition. It's a reminder to stay strong, to be courageous, to stop your fears, and to feed your faith. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, just know that you were born to stand out and make an impact. Head over exclusively to www.nogrindnoglory.net and grab you some merch as a daily reminder that all things work together.
I can even share this. Like, I remember at a listening party, my boy Jay, he was like, you know how everything's going with the industry, was like a lot of short songs and this, that, and the third. And there was one song I had on there, which was "Close Your Eyes." I felt like that had to be what it needed to be because of the intimacy of the record.
Yeah.
That's my favorite song.
And mine too, bro. And my heart behind this album was, God, not only let the people be closer to you, but let this let it minister to me too, in a way that because you can get so caught up in trends and how the industry is doing things. Like, I'm gonna follow some of that and emulate, because it's like, if you don't, you'll get left behind. But it's a lot that I'm just not going to compromise on, just because that's how the industry is going. Like, my life isn't built on the industry. It is built on ministry, more so from a perspective of God's people. But I'm going to emulate the industry and the marketing and everything, because you have to. But you will not last in any industry or any type of profession if you only go with the trends. If you only just, okay, I'm going to do this for the moment. Think about when tax season come around. Everybody do taxes.
Everybody got a new car. You get a car.
Okay.
You get a car.
Well, what about throughout the year? Because the laws change like consistently in the things that within that industry. So what may have been one quarter is not now the next quarter.
Yeah.
So a real person who do taxes, this is realistic. This is their life. This is who they were created to be, in a sense, and with the gift that's given. So it's just like, it separates the real from the fake. It's no different than the people who just spaz out so quick. It's broad, it's short, it's non-lasting. You're trying to go to the next thing to make it last. But when you have longevity, it's nutrition, it's ingredients that's being imparted in you that you can disperse to people, and you not get burnt out. It's not taken away from you, but it's adding to you. So you have to be careful with the short route and the microwave success, because when that spaz out, what is going to be left? You're going to be going with that, because now you're disappointed because now it's not as popular or trendy. It's like, with our routes, bro, we're confident in us.
Right.
We're confident in God and what He gave us, and that's what gives us the longevity, because we're not moved by what happens on the outside.
You know what? I mean, I can. No. This what I just realized. Right? Maybe like a couple weeks now, that I'm starting to understand from what not my surroundings, right? Not my surroundings. You see your surroundings, you feel them, and you're in them, but I'm just trained in my mind to where my surroundings is not where I'm finna be 10 years from now. It's not possible. It's not.
Right.
It's not cracking.
Right.
It's not going down. Right. So for real, it's just that we're not taking no for an answer, bro. Like,
No else.
what I see, how I see myself, and what I feel, how I'm supposed to be, that's how I'm moving.
Right.
Right. So once you start getting in that mode, training your mind like that, I'm starting to kind of understand what it's gonna take and how long it's gonna take. So now it's like I'm preparing for the longevity.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I'm preparing for the journey ahead. Like, you know what? Let me start doing the things now. Let me start living now for the next 10, 20 years.
Right.
Let me start making adjustments now for when I'm 10 years down. I'm finna say my age. Like, I'm 35 now, right? Oh, man, I just hit my age on camera. So I'm 35 now, right? Okay. All right. Let's specialist.
You straight, dog.
That's crazy. Anyway, so but hey, I don't feel 35. I say that.
Facts.
Right, so I'm 35. So I said, okay, I didn't the last 13. It was the last 13. I can't fix that. But what I can fix is the next 5, and the next 10, the next 15, the next 20.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how I see myself for the next 10 or the next 5, let me start doing that stuff now. Let me start hitting the gym now.
Yeah.
Because when I turn 40, I want to feel like I'm 35, 32.
Right.
I don't want to feel 55 when I'm 40.
Right.
So living for, like, get myself ready for the longevity. I think that's the other side of it. Knowing what it's gonna take, knowing not what it's gonna take, but if you look and see, well, that might take, you might have a goal. This goal might take 3 years.
Right.
So you got 3 years of doing this to get that goal in 3 years, type of ordeal. You know what I'm saying? So I think some people gotta look at it like that. Like, do you know how long it's gonna take? Do you know what it's gonna take? You know what I'm saying?
And that's just it. You know, if you tell them it's gonna take 10 years, 15 years, they wouldn't go through the process. They'll be like, nah, I can't do that. Let me find out a quicker route. And some things there are quicker routes on, but it's the most important things you don't need to have a quicker route on. Because you miss out on a lot what you can learn and grow from. And that's what it's here to teach us lessons. Okay, it's the reason I'm in this season. What am I missing? Lord, show me. Because I'm missing a key component somewhere, and I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna work towards it. Like, even just first starting out in this music industry and you know, going out far, I used to just do unnecessary stuff just to train myself for what I know was to come. So if I know it's going to be late nights, early mornings, I would intentionally stay up late, just intentionally. My job I used to work at Velda too, that helped out a lot when I worked graveyard. So that helped me train. I had shows where there was close to where I had to be to work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, well, I ain't gonna get no sleep tonight. That's just what it was. Sometimes I slept in my car. I just park, get to work early, recline that seat back, set my alarm, get maybe about an hour, if that, another training session. So I would just drive along, just wherever, just because I know I was training, because I knew this was going to be the type of lifestyle this is going to require from me. So let me go ahead and train my body, train my mind. And that's why it's so easy. Like, I have people all the time say, bro, how do you do it? It's like, I'm looking outside, looking in, you got so much going on. I plan, I prep, I schedule. But what looks like a lot to you isn't a lot to me, because I trained for this.
That's next level stuff, right?
Bro, they be
That's the first
asking me
time I
that.
heard that, bro. All these years, man, I ain't heard none of them stories, man.
You just
You gotta look at it. That's next level
Exclusive.
thinking. As a music artist, you use your job to train you in a space that has nothing to do with where you're going.
Bro, I'm doing that now, bro. I'm using my job right now.
Facts.
The environment I'm in right now, I'm using my job to train me to juggle multiple things without being stressed out. Because when you up
exactly.
there, and I'm using my job to train myself right now to compensate. I get compensated more from the effort I put in than my job right now can ever pay me.
Right. That's bars.
That's
right
true.
there.
So when I lay my head down with that little week behind check that they give me,
Yeah.
I know at the end of the week, I earned myself, if that makes sense. I earned the respect for myself from how everybody calling me, stressing me, trying to stress me out, over calling me on break nonstop. Can you bring me this? Can you bring me this? The phone steady ringing. Okay, I got you. 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 Nobody helping. Okay, I got you. Stretching myself, like taking on, because the job I have, I deliver equipment to everybody in the hospital. Everybody calls me all day, every day, right? So somebody colds, they need an IV pump. A patient got wounds on them, they need a soft bed, stuff like that. It's constant, because people, it's life care, right? So
Constant pull.
so I'm being pulled like this right here, but I find myself now accepting the pull, because I feel like this is gonna stretch me, because I want to be a boss. I'm training myself to be a boss. So when you be a boss, it's gonna come with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm allowing my job to train me for stuff outside. Eventually, I'm just speaking this in the atmosphere. I'm gonna be the one who's gonna be coming back and helping them, helping the staff, helping them with their life, helping them with maintaining them so they continue to
do
provide great life care.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's using your current position to get you in position to where you desire to go. You know, that's just like you were saying. That's just preparation, man. A lot of times, especially like now, we don't think about that. And I tell a lot of times when I'm speaking with the students, man, I tell them, I say, man, you spend more time as an adult than you do as a child. But we spend a lot of time doing childish things those first 18 years, not preparing for the latter 30, 40, 50, 60 years that's coming behind that.
Exactly.
You know, so it's and even the process, right? You got to think about, you spend more time in the process than what the process is actually preparing you for.
That's true.
You may do a show for an 8-minute set or 10-minute set,
months,
but you've been rehearsing for months or even years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To perfect your craft for that 8-minute moment.
Sometimes 3-minute moment.
Yeah.
What can you do in 5 minutes? I can give you 3-4 songs in 5 minutes. Mix. Boom.
Right.
It teaches you structure.
Yeah.
I remember when first time I had that experience, I was like, oh snap, how am I gonna do this? They only gave me 5, 6, 7 minutes. All right. Because one song from the verse to the hook, that could be your entire set.
Right.
Depending on how long the song was.
Yeah.
But it teaches you structure. It teaches you how to prepare for it. So like that's the importance, man. You gotta want to do things that are unpopular. Because you don't get to see the unpopular things behind the scenes. There's the blood, the tears.
Yeah.
And you don't get to see the constant no's. You know, I thank God for all the no's, because the yeses that are coming through, it's like, yes, Lord, it's attacking. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, man, I just train, bro. Like, you have to think the unthinkable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In your profession, whatever you do.
You gotta what? You gotta think different, live different.
Be different.
For sure.
For sure.
Bars.
That's the life, man.
Motivated apparel.
Yeah, that's the life, man. You got to
is.
move in the way that you see yourself, not where you are now, but
That's
where
it.
you are in the future.
That's the
you know?
only way
Exactly, bro.
you're gonna, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only way. If anybody, that's the only way. That's the only way that you gonna pull through. You gotta see yourself not from how your family see you.
Right.
Right.
Bro, I had this nurse. No cap. No cap, bro. I had this nurse tell me the other day. I ain't gonna say his name because I love him to death. He funny. but he said, "Oh man, you're never gonna get that beautiful girl, man. You might as well go get one of the housekeepers." Like what?
What are you talking about?
What?
I might know who you talking about. But
I said what? So the other day, bro.
So just because they're a housekeeper, they ain't beauty. Huh?
No. I'm not saying that.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what the people thinking.
No disrespect to, but basically what he was saying, you're never gonna get that top tier. Go get you a lowly woman. No, we're not doing that. So the other day, for some reason, bro, yesterday, I was brushing my teeth and I got a water pick, so the water going everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it just ran across my mind. I didn't feel like I did not accept what he said. But for some reason it ran across my mind, so I immediately put it in God's face. Immediately I was like, God, the other day, because I be snitching to God. I would snitch on you to God straight up. Yesterday, you know, she said that. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. God know everything. God, if
I'm
God
a snitch.
if God was the feds, boy, you'd be like, you'll be straight locked
pull
up.
up.
Clank.
You'll be locked up because I be snitching to God, bro. But that's what He want us to do. He want us to unload that so we don't be carrying that stuff on us. There's other stuff we got to worry about. You know what I'm saying? So I was water picking. I just stopped. I was like, God, the other day, said I wasn't getting no No, I said I don't accept that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not accepting that at all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to, but I'm not accepting that. So,
Man,
bro, it's one of those things, bro.
Think of over the years, bro, of all that stuff that's been presented to us that we wasn't easily bamboozled or easily accepted what other people would say about us or their perspective of us when we know who we are.
Yeah.
We a lot of people live in the moment of what society has going on at the moment in time, but that's gonna dwindle. So when you stay in your longevity in your process and you continue to grow, that won't affect you.
Yeah.
Just like how you said.
Yeah.
It just let it flow off like a water on a duck's back.
Yeah.
Like it was on you, but it didn't penetrate in you.
Yeah, it didn't penetrate.
You know what I'm saying? Because if it penetrated in you, then you just start moving different and
If
you
it
start thinking
penetrate
different.
an inch, bro, it hurt you.
Yeah.
It hurt you.
Yeah, and that's why you have to be like number one, what you said, confident in yourself, and then number two, disciplined enough to recognize that stuff to keep yourself focused in the right direction. Because things come at you left and right, and it look good,
Constant.
sound good, but at the end of the day, it ain't good. You know, it ain't good, man. And so that's why self-identification rather is so relevant and important. And that's kind of like phase one, like step one, really, because at the end of the day, if I don't believe, even my desire is to have long-term success, right? And going back to the cross-country runner. But if I don't first believe I can do it, then guess what happens? Nothing. Nothing never happens. If I don't believe, even in God's plan for the moment, right?
Right.
Can you be okay with God's plan for your life if he leads you to a place that you think is the place of success, drops you off there and say, here you go. This is where I wanted you to be, but that moment is over. Can you be cool with that?
Bruh.
See, that comes with self-identity. You see what I'm
It
saying? And then he switches gears. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of times we get stuck. We have this plan in our head, and then we like, this is what success looks like for us. But then when purpose starts to get away, now you fighting success and purpose when it should be, you know what I'm saying, working together to get you where you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Right.
It's supposed to co-align with each other.
It's supposed to coincide. Exactly.
Yeah,
It's supposed to
coexist.
coincide. Because sometimes we'll get placed in a momentary situation, but we thinking that that's supposed to be for the rest of our lives. But then when you look at the longevity of your career, your gift, your different anointings and different things of that nature, but there's moments and seasons and all of that stuff. And even though it derives to the total picture of what longevity presents, but we just and I'm kind of like scaling it back a little bit in this statement, but it's like you're taking that long haul and you're breaking it down into increments. But you can't get lost in the increments.
At all. That's good.
Yeah, that's real good. Yeah.
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah,
It's
that makes
like it's
sense.
a long journey, but it's like God breaks it down into increments because it may be scheduled, December 23rd, 2025, Mike has to take a loss right here. But what Mike is going to realize if Mike don't quit January of 2036, he's going to remember back of December 23rd, 25, 11 years prior, that prepared him for that journey 11 years later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it was an increment that was positioned that had to happen, even though it was a loss, but because it was to make you and not break you. But you have to understand that because even in my self-identity, I have to understand that this situation came in my life to make me and not break me, but I got to make sure that I understand that because if I don't, it's going to break me.
Yeah.
And then the longevity I'm looking for, I'll never reach it because I allowed something that was only supposed to be in my life momentarily, and I drug it out for the rest of my life, and it derailed my purpose.
Again, cross training.
Yeah.
That's like cross training at its finest.
Yeah.
Because like how we were saying before, the jobs we work and the people we come in contact with, it's training for the moment that we don't even get to see, or when we know it's coming, we don't get to pick what date of increments we get to experience. You got to roll with the punches.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got to put up or shut up, as they say.
Right.
Because life is demanding.
It is.
Life is
Yeah.
life is demanding, and when you're in the field, I notice well, just for anyone who's in the health industry, I'm gonna say it that way. Life is demanding, so you gotta be built a certain type of way if you're gonna get into the health industry, because you're dealing with people's lives, bro.
Yeah.
It's like it'll help if you have a heart of servitude, then you can make it in the healthcare industry. If you're there for the check, then you're gonna end up doing more harm to a person. If not physically, you might do your job, but your morale is gonna bring down what it's there for. It's gonna drain it out. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of healthcare professionals, I'm gonna say it that way, who they are there for the check, and they treat the people like pieces of equipment. It's almost like an assembly line. They just wrapping the sandwich and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Versus the person who care about the patties and they care about what temperature the meat is. It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? So, do you?
Why?
No. We just,
Why? You know what we deal with.
hey, I'm just look.
Man, I had an experience last week, literally. Like, the Lord was like, calm down, son.
And the reason why I'm bringing it up because we talking about longevity.
Yeah.
So the quality of what you do affects your longevity.
Yeah,
It does.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
You know, like how professional you are. Look, the quality.
Come on, brother. You in the vein.
Look, the quality of what you do determines whether you're a professional or not. It's that like how much you care about what you do.
Right.
That affects how professional you are. Just because you can do the job doesn't mean you're a professional.
Right.
If ain't no heart into it, if ain't no soul into it, if you're not really, if it don't hit here, if you don't go to sleep and think about it waking up, if you're not moving like it's you in that predicament, then you're not professional.
Man.
You dig what I'm saying? Like where your heart is at and the quality of what you do, that determines how professional the outcome is.
And the quality of the actual work that you do and portray. Like, this past week, I had to really hold myself in just because it's like, one thing, I transport, so it's like one thing that you don't do, you don't make the patient feel like it's their fault, you feeling the way you feeling. And man, that took me a place, bro. Cause you know we people persons, so it's just like you get an attitude and you're like, no, I'm gonna talk to them about this, and then I'm hearing the patients like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a burden. It's just like, one thing you don't do within this type of profession, you don't let the people know how you feel. You can feel what you feel, you're entitled to that, but don't make them feel a certain kind of way. And that's what really triggered me.
Right.
The Lord had to come in quick, like,
Yucko, we talking about
because
longevity.
But at the same time, I don't want to taint the impact I've made since I've been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's those type of heavy decisions you gotta make and awareness that you gotta have, because you can easily blow up. That's easy.
Yeah.
Can you have restraint?
Right.
Yeah.
Can you just shut your mouth and not say anything? Be like, so we got it to the bed.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, because your mesh find them blow up, and then that'll cut off your longevity. You would get stopped.
Exactly. So we got her to the bed, and I just said, thank you, ladies, and I just walked out.
Yeah.
And the Lord was like, a soft answer turns away wrath. It's just a learning curve, that's almost to the scale, because you have those breaking points where you've gone so much with the increments that you can. I need that second wind, Lord, because it's just wearing thin. In that moment,
catch these hands.
I'm about to blow up. So it was just like, I have a heart for people, bro. So it makes sense what you're saying. Like, I can't stuff like that, bro, because you have to picture, okay, well, what if that's your loved one that's sitting there?
Yeah.
And then you have somebody else and you see that.
Yeah.
You will go off on that, on that
sure.
person.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of situations that teach us restraint that's going to prepare us for like you
Yeah.
say, the next 10, 15 years possibly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
it's-
'cause we
Yeah.
talking about longevity. So, how you feel about what you're doing, like we talking about, it affects how the energy you're gonna put into it,
Yeah.
and the quality you're gonna put into it.
right.
If you care about it, even when you care about it, even when you tired, Lord, it's not going nowhere, and you get up and you get your little strength up and you try it again, you're gonna try it again with care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you really
More
because
intentional.
You're intentional. You
Yeah.
really feel like that's what you put in place here to do. So that's a part of longevity, bro. And then respecting the people who help you allow on your way, your family,
Yeah.
the people who fit in the bill for you, helping you with gas in your car, whoever it is, bro.
Yeah.
It could be somebody who a marital couple, they're married in.
Right.
The wife's trying to do something, and the husband got to play a different role right now because the wife is trying to do something. Or,
Right.
Or hubby trying to do something.
Right.
The wife, she got to come out the cuff a little bit more.
Right.
The hubby trying to do his thing until
Yeah.
he get right. So, just the care you put into it, to me, just to me, it determines how professional. Just because you're doing it doesn't mean you're a professional.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We don't do it just to do it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. Man, this definitely been a dope conversation, man. We definitely pick it back on some stuff, in the upcoming podcast, man. And so, as we get ready to dwindle things down, man. So, like, what could we say, like something that we can just leave the people with right now to kind of help them on their journey?
Right.
Somebody might be in that space, that incremental space, ready to throw in the towel, ready to give it up because it ain't happened yet. They could be on their 10th year, and they still trying to make it happen. What can we say out of all the things that we've said, within this hour, what can we leave them with as we get ready to close out?
I always go to Doug first because he be having, you know what I'm saying? I always go
Well,
to Doug first.
you said it earlier in the podcast, bro. Pace yourself.
Yeah.
You have to pace yourself. Don't be distracted by what everybody else got going on. Because you don't know what they had to go through to get to that point. And you don't want to get to the point where, man, I wish I was in their shoes, but are you willing to go through what they went through to get to wear those type of shoes? Just pace yourself. Just embrace your uniqueness. Follow God and get in that place to it. And that's the key component, man. The Lord, bro. What you do for him will last.
Yeah.
That and anything else it'll dwindle, it'll perish. It's not gonna last. So, because I think about our brands, bro. Kid Run Valley, Shift Motivations, Motivated Apparel, No Grind, No Glory. When I hear that and you hear it as a package component, bro, that's powerful. You're seeing God's breath in real time, basically. So, just come up with a game plan. Be strategic. Research. Study whatever it is and if you don't know what you're called to, what do you love to do? What brings you passion that when you wake up, you can say, I could do this for the rest of my life? What is that? Don't be distracted. Stay away from the distractions. Get around people who've been where you're trying to go and been where you are now. And don't be afraid to, hey, will you be my mentor? Will you help me? Just ask for help. A lot of times we don't do that. It's the simple things. It's the basic things that sustains us, bro. It's the basic principles that gives us the longevity that we need because it'll remind us in this point in time, remember this? Yep. Thank you. We tighten up. All right, I'm cool. So just pace yourself, man. Don't think that time is passing you by because you're right where God needs you to be. And that's what I learned more than anything. I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
Hey, and there you have it.
That's it.
There you have it, man. Listen, man, it's been great, man. Hey, go get B-Dub new album, Life After Death.
Shameless plug.
Hey, I'm telling you, it's fire, man. It's one of those CDs, man. You can just actually just put it in, listen to the whole thing, and just let it ride. Like I was telling him, man, I was like, unless I just wanted to listen to a specific song because I'm in a specific mood. And I say, but other than that, it's like you can just pump it in your ears or in your CD, those that still listen to CDs or downloads or whatever, you can just pump it, man, and just let it ride, because it takes you on a journey, man. It's dope. It's real dope. So y'all go check that out. Check them out. Don't forget, man, check my book out, The Blueprint to Success, A Student's Guideline for Successful Living. Go check that out. It's all on digital outlets, Amazon, on my website, www.shiftmotivations.com. You can check it out there as well. All right, folks, and there you have it. Hey, man, we thank you guys for tuning in. Always remember, we'll see you at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. And remember this, if you think different and be different, you have the opportunity to live different. And once again, we'll see you on the other side to success. Y'all have a blessed one. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. God bless.
For sure.
Peace.